What's up gamers, it's TreeSap Jake here with yet another video, and guys, it has been some time since we sat down, just you and me, dear viewer, dear supportive viewer who has been here for me, supporting me since day one, been really kind of just sticking it out with me, even though there have been a lull and wow and everything like that. And you've probably also caught me on my Twitch channel, that's twitch.tv/TreeSapJake. I really appreciate all of that. You should definitely check me out if you haven't. I stream there every single day, apart from the weekends. So, guys, what's this video about? This video is about the changes coming up in 9.2, and especially the tier set bonuses, because let's face it, we've been asking for it for a very, very long time, but are they going to be as succinct and as good as we kind of remember and as we want? So I'm going to be taking a look at all the tier set bonuses from each class, analyzing how it affects PvP, whether it's good, bad, helpful, whatever. I'm going to see whether it's going to be groundbreaking, because let's face it, sometimes they just mess things up. So it'll be good to see how this goes. And yeah, so I'm excited. Let's get started. So first things first, we're going to start off with Warlock. So, Affliction tier set. Let's have a look. Calamitous Crescendo. While Agony, Corruption, and Unstable Affliction are active, your Drained Soul has a 4% chance, and Shadowbolt has a 20% chance to make your next Malefic Rupture cost no soul shards and cast instantly. So I imagine this is going to be when you cast those, and whilst they're active, you're going to use Drained Soul, or you use Shadowbolt, for example. I mean, this feels more like a PvE change, and it obviously probably more than likely is. Your Malefic Rupture will light up, and then you can just press it and it will cast. Obviously, during PvP, this will be fine, because whilst Agony and Corruption are active, you know, if you do press Drain Soul, there's a chance you can do it, but I don't think you'll ever really have the chance to cast it, so it might, to be honest, fairly useless in my opinion. The 4-set bonus though, Deliberate Malice. Malefic Rupture's damage is increased by 15%, and each cast extends the duration of Corruption, Agony, and Unstable Affliction by 2 seconds. This is fairly good. It's not amazing, I don't think, but it's something. At least it's buffing Malefic Rupture's damage, which means that you'll kind of like burst as an Affliction Warlock is a bit higher, which I think is workable. It's not the best. It's nowhere near, I think, as crazy as some of the other ones that we're going to see, but it's something at least. I guess it's a buff in that regard to damage. Maybe it'll work well. Just have to check out people like Dakroth and stuff like that to see if it works. Demonology, Malicious Impact. Your Hand of Gul'dan has a 5% chance per soul shard to summon a Malicious Imp. When slain, the Malicious Imp grants a soul shard and will either deal 19% of spell power fire damage to all nearby enemies of your implosion, or deal it to your current target. Okay, so I mean, I don't see the Malicious Imp dying, but maybe when it does die, like from Cleave or something like that, there's a chance that it'll blow up and do some extra damage. This might help with the consistent damage of Demonology in PvP, but again, it's not amazing. Cool Dreadstalker is a 100% chance to summon an additional Dreadstalker. I think this is just consistent damage from ripped from the portal there, 4-set bonus. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure how much better this is. I don't think honestly, I'm not excited by this. I don't like Demonology anyway, but you know, it's something. It's a start. The Destruction tier set bonuses in 9.2. Herald of Chaos. Casting Rain of Fire or Chaos Spot has a 20% chance to make the next cast of the other three. Sorry, three. I feel as if I can see this working. I can see this working to get a free instant Chaos Bolt, potentially. But again, you're wasting soul shards on casting Rain of Fire, and I don't know, like maybe, I don't see this being overly useful, to be honest, with Destruction. Avatar of Destruction, when Rain of Fire or Chaos Bolt is freely cast, you summon an Infernal for 8 seconds. Okay, this is nuts. That is an incredible 4-set bonus. Infernals do so much damage for 8 seconds, so I guess whenever you cast Chaos Bolt, Infernals come flying down. That's kind of nuts. Hopefully it doesn't stun you. Because if you're getting stunned every 8 seconds, that's first of all terrible for stun DR. Although I think Infernals are off the stun DR, so that just could be fucking horrific. That could be horrific to be stunned like that. So maybe Destruction is back. Who knows? But that's probably the best one out of the lot. Alright guys, next up is the Warrior set bonuses. Let's have a look. Arms Warrior, Pylon. Every 75 rage consumed, increase the effectiveness of your next Colossus Smash or Wall Breaker by 2% up to 10%. Okay, nice. Right, well, this is just a big, massive buff that will work in PvP perfectly well, as if Arms Warriors weren't already fucking broken. Increases the duration. Okay, Pylon increases the duration of your Colossus Smash and Wall Breaker by 3 seconds. Okay, nuts. This is a huge damage increase. This rinses people with armor. Like, honestly, like, this is horrible for Shamans. Horrible for any Clothies. Like, this is just, yeah, this is their, like, burst window that is just massive. They shit on Warlocks so hard with nothing. Okay, and then they give Warriors just a straight up, like, damage buff. Nuts. Fury, let's have a look. Raging Blows are 20%. chance to grant reckless for 4 seconds. Okay, yeah, I mean this is quite a big thing for Fury. This might see more Fury gameplay. Raging Blow deals 50% increased damage and gains an additional. Okay, yeah, well, I mean Fury were kind of nuts anyway. This is just basic warrior buffing. Like someone plays warrior in Blizzard like as a main. This is nuts. I'm not going to read prop because we'll never see that in PvP. But yeah, those are the warrior tier set bonuses. Quite clearly, just leagues ahead of the Warlock one. Nuts. And this is the first time I'm seeing this, by the way. This is just nutty. I just don't understand. I don't understand why. Why would they do this? Like, I understand in a PvE sense this is nice, but like all this is just, it's just extra modifiers that have been put on top, stacked on top, and it's just unnecessary. Like it's just so much. Like, just give us something cool, you know, instead of just ridiculous like stacked modifiers. Stupid. Okay, to the Shaman ones. Okay, I have seen these before. So, Fireheart, 2-set bonus. While your Storm, Elemental, and Fire Elemental is active, your Lava Burst deal 20% additional damage, and you gain Lava Surge every 8 seconds. Crazy. This is insane. I'm just saying this. 20% increase in damage is nutty. I really hope that this is nerfed in PvP because Elemental Shamans are going to be busted. This is powerful. This is really fucking powerful because if you play with Skybreakers, you have your Fire Rally up a lot, and when it's up, you're doing 20% increase. It's like basically like a damage cooldown now. 20% increased damage on Lava Burst and Lava Surge every 8 seconds, which is nutty. That's huge. That's a huge amount of single target damage. The 4-set bonus, casting Lava Burst extends the duration of your Fire Elemental by 1.5 seconds, which if you've got Lava Surge up every 8 seconds and it's up for about 30 seconds, it's just up a lot. If your Storm Ellie or Fire Ellie is not active, spending Maelstrom has 20% chance to reduce its cooldown by 10 seconds instead. Nuts. This is crazy. Fire Ellie's going to be up all the time. I mean, it sounds great, obviously, as a Elemental Shaman player, but this is crazy. This is so busted. This is going to be insane, horrific in PvP. Like, Ellie is going to be on top, like, just doing so much damage with Fire Ellie up. And Fire Ellie up does pump, and with Skybreakers, it's a lot. So, yeah, this is crazy. Enhancement. Spending Maelstrom Weapon has a 3% chance per stack to summon a Feral Spirit for 9 seconds, so that gives you more Maelstrom. So that's, yeah, like giving you extra free Maelstrom for 9 seconds. Your Feral Spirit's attack has a 20% chance to trigger Stormbringer, resetting the cooldown of your Storm Strike. I mean, this is great. This means you just have a lot more on-demand Storm Strike damage, which if you pair it up with Doom Winds and stuff like that, it can be big. This could be big. So yeah, this is a general buff, but I don't think it's as good as the Elemental one. The Elemental one is just insane. Rest of Shaman, Heal the Soul, Chain Heals critical. I mean, this is just Chain Heal. Chain Heal's critical hit chance is increased by 30% on all targets when cast on a target affected by a Riptide. I mean, this could see Chain Heal being brought back, so more like BFA play style. Chain Heal crits reduce the remaining cooldown of Spirit Link total by 2. Okay, this is big. Okay, this could be big. I could see this being useful. I don't know whether it will be played. I think this will be something that will be more useful if you're playing double melee, so, you know, Turbo with the Rest of Shaman, Rep Warrior. I mean, this is a big buff to Rep Warrior. Like, they just Chain Heal and then you get Spirit Link. This could be, I could see this being rough. But yeah, that's the Shaman bonuses. That's really good. Elemental Shaman is nuts. This is too good. Too good. It's going to get nerfed. There's no way for PvP. Absolutely no way. Okay, let's take a look at the Druid tier set bonuses. For Balance, Umbro Embrace, 2-set. Entering Lunar Eclipse creates a Fury of a Loon at 25% effectiveness that follows your current target. So basically, you get when you get the Eclipse, you get Fury of a Loon, which basically doesn't do as much damage, and I think it'll probably give you some of that. Their resource, so that would be good. That would be obviously good for getting Star Surges out. While in Eclipse, the cost of Star Surge and Starfall is reduced by 20%. Okay, this is big. So when you bot, I think this will be big for Kyrian Boomy and a lot of the big boomies that go off damage from Star Surge. Especially because when you obviously get a full sort of like bar of your lunar power, it will cost very little. So this is kind of big for them. That's a big damage increase. I think it's just play style will make it just easier for them. It will feel more fluid because you have more chances to actually do damage. So I guess that's good, but it's quite terrifying for Kyrian Boomy. Feral 2-set bonus. Each combo point spent, ephemeral being. Each combo point spent reduces the cooldown of your income by 0.5 seconds. I don't see being that, like, I guess over time this would be quite good. It just means that I probably imagine it would be like a 2-minute cooldown as opposed to a 3-minute cooldown, which is kind of scary. But you know, it's we'll see. When Berserk ends, you lacerate all nearby opponents, dealing 700% attack power bleed damage over 10 seconds. Okay, this could be big. That is again, just like, this is just proc stuff. This is what I don't like, by the way, when it just randomly procs things, like there's multipliers. It's just not necessary. But again, another bleed damage. I imagine this will be really powerful with Necro necro ferals. Guardian, I'm going to just take a look at this for RBGs. Casting Bark Skin whilst causes you to berserk for 4 seconds. Okay, this could be big for if you've got the legendary that sort of allows not to be CC'd, because for basically Bark Skin, I think every sort of minute or so, I think you can get it down to 45 seconds. If you cast Bark Skin, you can be immune for 4 seconds, which is pretty good for when you're trying to hold a base. So this could mean that Guardians will never lose a base. While Berserk, you radiate cosmic damage to nearby enemies and heal. Okay, yeah, again, whilst Berserk, they can't even cap if you're nearby. This is crazy. So they're basically, if you have a Guardian Druid protecting a base for RBGs, they're never going to lose it, basically. So, Restoration Druid, let's have a look at this. Swift Mend heals an additional spell power times 21 out of 100. I don't know what that means. For each periodic healing effect on the target. So basically, it's sort of like it does a lot more healing, I imagine. Swift Mend heals 4 nearby allies for 25% of its healing done. I mean, this is just average. I mean, I understand this is okay, but this is very average in comparison to the rest of the Druid sets. So, you know, it's something, I guess, and maybe increasing the Druid, rest of Druid healing. Okay, taking a look at mages. Arcane, let's go first. Arcane Lucidity increases your arcane damage dealt to enemies affected by your Touch of the Magi by 18%, so just a flat increase with Touch of the Magi. After consuming 8 clear, casting your next Touch of the Magi is instant, incurs no cooldown and lasts for 6 seconds. Okay, so basically just damage increase buff, probably needed for Arcane. It didn't hit massively hard. It had some survivability issues, so this is good to kind of brings it more back into the fore. Might be able to see more Arcane Mage play, so check the space for Mitch Jones. Fire Mage increases the duration of combustion by 2 seconds. Don't like this. Combustion is already fucking broken. While combustion is active, you burn for 2% of your maximum health every 1 second. Okay, so you burn, causing 1% causing your Fire Blast and Phoenix Flame to recharge 100% faster. I don't know whether this is you burning or someone else burning, because if combustion causes you to lose health, this is big. You just go for 2-set bonus and go for something else. But I mean, that I don't mind if they burn, but like if combustion is open and it burns the enemy's health for 2%, then that's nuts. But causing your Fire Blast and Phoenix Flames to recharge 100% faster. I mean, it just basically means that you have opportunities to basically get Hot Streak a lot quicker. So, I mean, maybe this is the case. It might mean they just have more damage on demand, but I don't know. It's interesting either way as a mechanic. So I'm not too fussed about this. Frost Mage, let's have a look. While Icy Veins is active, your spells have a 25% chance to cool down a Comet Storm on your enemy target. This effect cannot occur more than once every 30 seconds. So this, you might break CC if they're right next to you. This is kind of shit for PvP. Enemies hit by Comet Storm take 2% increased damage from the Frost spells up to 10% for 8 seconds. I mean, this just increases damage. This is basically a PvE tier set thing. This will be mostly useful in PvE. I don't think it'll be useful in PvP. I think if you've got Comet Storm coming down, it's just going to break CC if they're right next to you. Like, you could position yourself next to the target all the time, and you'll be fine, because there's a chance it might break. On to Priests. Let's have a look. From Dusk, casting Power Word, Shield, or Shadow Mend has a 15% chance to make your next cast of Shadow Mend have no cost or cast time. Okay, this is kind of big. I think this stops Priests getting like kicked on things a lot. So this is quite useful. This is a big buff, I think, to Disc Priest. Power of the Dark Side increases the effectiveness of Penance by an additional 45% and is triggered when Power Word Radiance is cast. I don't know whether... Would you use Power Word Dark Side? Guys, if you're Disc main, let me know whether this is useful for you. I imagine like the increase of Penance is always good. It just... For me, this seems like it's helping Discs manage getting kicked on different schools. So, I mean, it's quite useful for them, I think. So... Holy Priest, your holy words begin divine conversation, increasing the cooldown reduction of your next holy word affecting spell by 15%. Okay, 15 seconds, sorry. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I don't know Priest that well. At least the the healing side of it. I'm not sure whether this is a general talent or not. Divine Conversation increases the effectiveness of your next holy word affecting spell by 35%. I mean, this could just basically mean, I feel like Serenity is going to be big. This is just buffing Serenity and a lot of the other bits and pieces like that. So it just means that you're going to do bigger heals. Yeah, I don't think it deals anything with mana, but it just means that you're doing bigger heals, I think. Shadow Priest, Dark Thoughts has an additional 15% chance to trigger for each shadow damage over time effect on the target. I think this is the ghosts that come out. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. I do play Shadow Priest, but I haven't analyzed it that much. So yeah, just damage increase. Consuming a Dark Thought causes your shadow to animate for 8 seconds. Your shadow follows you, dealing 138.4% of spell damage target to your target over duration. I think this is really good for handling melee that's on you, so I think this might be a big thing like that. I'm fairly sure Dark Thoughts might be consuming some sort of like instant cast, so I don't know whether or not that is different bits and pieces. I'll have to double check on this one, guys. If you play Priest, let me know, because I don't know this fully, but I think this could be a big I mean, I don't know, this feels bigger for Shadow Priest. I think Shadow Priest is definitely one out, but maybe Disc as well. I don't know, it feels very balanced, this one. This feels balanced to me. Okay, taking a look at Death Knight. I'm going to ignore Blood DK because you don't see them at the minute. Frost DK, Remorseless Winter grants 8% critical strike while active. This is massive. I don't know whether this is chance or whether it's damage, but either way, this is just huge for Obliterate. Consuming Killing Machine fires a glacial advance through your target. Now, this is average. This is not massive. You're going to need to be careful with this for breaking CC, though, I imagine. So that's the only thing I can think of with the Frost DK. Seems okay. 8% critical strike is okay. Harvest time, every 5 Clawing Shadows or Scourge Strikes, cast Soul Reaper on the target. Soul Reaper grants your pet 20% attack speed for 10 seconds. This is pretty big. This is quite nice. I think Soul Reaper is fairly decent. It's not a massive amount of damage, but pet attack speed is big if you're using the legendary that increases your pet's damage, which I think you do as Unholy. Whenever Soul Reaper's secondary effect triggers, summon an army of the dead ghoul. I mean, this is just more pet damage. I think this is buffed to consistent damage, so we'll see. I know with the Death Coil legendary, that's people have been playing, they've been doing a lot more damage, so maybe this just keeps it consistent for Unholy DKs. I don't know whether it bring them back into the meta, but it's definitely sort of like, this seems like quite a balanced set of tier set bonuses to me. Like, they seems reasonable, you know. Right, onto the Paladins. Holy Paladin, Dawn will come. Casting Word of Glory causes your next Light of the Dawn to heal for 50% more and cast twice. Cannot occur more than once every 30 seconds. So I guess this is burst healing increase, which I think maybe Paladins needed. I don't know whether this is more buck for their bang. I don't know if that's the phrase, but I don't know whether it's going to be worthwhile. But yeah, each target hit by Light of Dawn has a 100% chance to reduce the remaining cooldown of Avenging Wrath by 2 seconds. Okay, so this is good. This feels balanced to me. Like, I feel like this will be good for like basically just burst healing. Paladins really quickly at the minute, so sometimes just having bigger cooldowns closer will be good. Cooldown reduction isn't always a bad thing. So I think, to be honest, the thing is that maybe this might be a bit rough if you're kind of like, I think this is bonus to like Holy Paladins healing like Turbo, for example, or targets where there's double melee and they can get in a bit closer. I don't know if it will be good for ranged, so basically you'll get 4 seconds every time. So yeah, it might make Avenging Wrath quite a shorter cooldown, but again, they have mana issues, so maybe this will make it more balanced. Prot, let's have a look. Casting Shield of Righteousness increases your block chance by 4%. This is a tanking thing. Blocking an attack has a 33% chance to cast Judgment at your attacker. Maybe if you block like a melee attack, you might do Judgment and dispel something freely. I don't know. It's not so great for PvP, I don't think. Retribution Paladin. When you benefit from Art of War, you gain Seraphim for 2 seconds. Oh my days. Okay, if this lines up, this is kind of bad. I think Art of War is when you get the free Blade of Justice, which you do get a fair bit. So yeah, this is Seraphim, which is a 15% increase to versatility, aka more damage increase. Art of War has a 50% chance to reset the cooldown of Wake of Ashes instead of Blade of Justice. Okay, again, Wake of Ashes does a fuckload of damage too. So yeah, this is a big increase to Ret Paladin damage. I don't think it's massive. It's not nearly as big as I think the Warrior one is, but let's just say Ret Warrior is going to be back, and it's going to be back with a vengeance next season, that's for sure. Okay, taking a look at Hunters. Now, as you guys, if you are watching any of my streams, you know I hate Hunters at the minute. I think they've been buffed really hard. Let's have a look at BM. Your kill command critical strike chance is increased by 15% for each stack of frenzy your pet has. I don't know BM Hunter, but I imagine this basically means that kill command is going to crit a lot more, but I don't think kill command is used in PvP, so that's fine. I think this next one looks a bit bigger. Kill command critical strike, critical hits increase the damage and cooldown reduction of your next Cobra Shot by 40%. Cobra Shot is, I think, their damage, they're just consistent damage, so I think Cobra Shot is going to be hitting a lot harder, which means their consistent damage is buffed, which is annoying because BM Hunters really do hit so hard. So yeah, this could be, this is just a straight up increase to their flat just damage. You'll probably end up pressing kill command just to kind of get this on there and just get your, I think you get your pet to your target that way. So yeah, maybe this will be how it works. Let's take a look. Marksman Hunter, trick shots also increase the damage of the effective shot by 30%. What? Oh, this is Kirin Marksman Hunter gonna fucking pump so hard. Spending 80 focus grants you 2 charges of trick shots. Okay, nice. Okay, well, there we go, guys. MM Hunter is going to hit really hard, and there goes, I think. So, yeah, this will be interesting. That's a big buff. 30% is a big number, to be honest. 40% is also a big number. I don't know why they're using big numbers for hunters. It's nuts. Sorrow Hunter, when kill command resets, has a 40% chance to make your next wildfire bomb incur no cooldown. Okay, so wildfire bomb does a lot of damage, if you don't know this. I feel like it's a lot of their consistent damage for Cyber Hunters. So yeah, this is a big consistent damage buff. Your Wildfire Bombs deal 30 additional damage. 5%. This bonus increased 80% for bombs empowered by Mad Bombardier. What? Why are they doing these huge numbers? This Cyber Hunter already really pumps, and they have kill shot too. Oh, guys, Hunters are back. Jungle's going to be even worse. Jungle is going to be even worse. Onto the rogues. Asa Rogue. Shiv's debuff causes your bleeds to gain 25% additional critical strike for 9 seconds. I think if you thought the rot pressure was bad before, I think this is going to be bigger. The rot pressure is going to be rough. Shiv already does 50% mortal strike effect, so this is going to be a bit... 25% is a big number, so yeah, for 9 seconds that's going to be rough. Vendetta causes poison that bleeds in your target to expire 100% fast, so I think that's just like... Vendetta just basically... It's like a Dark Soul, just makes the rot hit harder, which is going to be rough. So basically the rot pressure is going to be huge, and I think this benefits multi-dotting. So if you put poisons and bleeds on another character, let's say you put 2 ruptures on different characters and 2 garrotes on different characters, then and then you pop Vendetta on one, it's going to be really hard for that other person, I think, to keep up, because the bleeds are going to be just destroying people quite hard on both targets. So yeah, this is a big buff to Asa Rogue. Just, you know, consistent damage, I think, and burst damage too. Outlaw Rogue, your main gouge has 25% chance to fire a pistol swap. Okay, this is cool. Pistol shot has a 50% chance to load a hidden bullet from your sleeves up to 6 times. After loading 6 bullets between the eyes, has its cooldown reset and cost no energy. Okay, so this is just getting like a free stun, basically. This might see Outlaw played a bit more. I can see the setup being worked with this. I don't know, they do a lot more consistent damage. I think this buffs it, so it'll be interesting for sure, especially if you have like a free stun that you can use that costs nothing. That'll be insane, and then you've got blind off on a regular cooldown. So this is interesting. I think maybe more Outlaw Rogue play. Sub Rogue, Shadow Strike has a 25% chance to grant Shadow Blaze for 5 seconds. That's just nutty. Shadow Blaze does a lot of damage, but again, proc chance, I don't know, your finishing moves have a 4% chance per combo point to cast Shadow Strike at up to 5 nearby enemies. I think that gives you, I think this is weird, I think that just randomly puts you behind them. So the 4% chance, 4 times 5, 20% chance basically for like a 5 combo point eviscerate for you to just suddenly appear behind someone else and do Shadow Strike. So yeah, I think that's okay. The Sub Rogue one isn't too bad. I think the Shadow Blaze one is pretty decent. But the Asa Rogue is going to be rough. I'm really not looking forward to that as a Shaman player. Okay, let's move on to the monks now. I'm going to ignore Brewmaster, although I have played with on an arena before. I will ignore them for now just because you don't tend to see them. Mistweaver, Essen Font's residual healing effect lasts an additional 2 seconds. That's good. That's a nice little buff. That means a bit more damage on, a bit more healing on Essence Font. Drinking Thunder Focus Tea summons a Progenitor Rune of Healing, increasing all healing dealt whilst inside its bounds by 123. This feels like it's not so accurate at the minute. I feel as if, obviously, because they haven't, I don't think they've got the full set for monks right now. I imagine it's just going to increase the healing, so it'll just an increase in healing capability as well, which is good. So a little bit of a buff for Mistweaver. This is the kind of thing that I'd like to see a bit more, something a little bit more sort of just basic like this for the set bonuses instead of massive. Windwalkers, let's take a look. Increases Fist of Fury damage by 40%. Unnecessary. That's a massive damage increase for no fucking reason. They don't need it. After 10 offensive abilities, your next 3 offensive abilities deal an additional 22% damage. Again, these massively huge abilities, you could literally line that up with a proc and do the most unbelievable amounts of damage. This is unnecessary. There was no need for any of this increase. It should be interesting. Instead of just random increases of damage, it should be interesting, like more energy or something like that. I don't agree with this. This is ridiculous. I hope this is changed or nerfed in PvP at least when it comes out. So, I mean, yeah, again, like much like the other melee, it's just a bit busted, to be honest. Okay, and finally, the Demon Hunter one. We'll take a look at both because both are used. Vengeance is from is definitely in RPG, so we'll see whether it can keep up. Have a Demon Hunter D. I imagine that's probably called Deadly Dance. Increases Blade Dance and Death Sweep damage by 20%. They really didn't need that. The damage is already pretty massive, consistently wise. So yeah, this is rough. Every 5th Blade Dance or Death Sweep instantly refunds its own cooldown and cost. Casting this empowered Blade Dance or Death Sweep has a 15% chance to instantly refund its own cooldown and cost. Okay, so basically, Death Sweep and Blade Dance is just going to be up a lot. I think Death Sweep is basically the empowered version of Blade Dance, so I think it just means that you're going to be able to Blade Dance a lot. So basically, you're able to put your MS effect on a lot more, which I think is fairly good for Demon Hunter, but this will be interesting as a way to sort of to do damage, I suppose. You've got some extra damage. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think this is fairly balanced. I don't play Demon Hunter, so I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like this is a fairly balanced thing that just kind of like just allows their other damaging abilities to do a bit more, which is fine. Vengeance Demon Hunter, Burning Hunger, damage dealt by Immolation Aura has a 10% chance to generate a lesser soul fragment. Consuming a lesser soul fragment has 100% chance to grant you a 2-second Immolation Aura or extend the existing. Okay, I mean this might be work for flank capping or like defending a base, but it's nowhere near as good as the Garden Druid one. That one's just insane. Okay, guys, that's everything. That's the tier set bonuses. I think they've put too much thought on modifiers. If you look at sort of like TBC or like, you know, the tier set bonuses from other sort of I guess expansions, it's very small things. Like for example, the Shaman one, the 4-set bonus on the Shaman one from TBC is 50% chance to not be interrupted when you're casting a lightning bolt from spell pushback. So that's quite big. It's small, but it helps out a lot. Or like extra energy, that sort of thing. That sort of thing I think is good for tier set bonuses. All of this is just more modifiers on a game that already is absolutely stacked full of modifiers. I'm unhappy with it. I think some of these are busted. I think they keep buffing warriors and hunters obscenely, and they need to stop doing that. But I'm really excited for the Shaman ones. The Shaman ones look good, especially the Elemental Shaman one. It looks nutty, and I can't believe they're going to let that go live. In my opinion, it's just too busted. So that's everything. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts, especially if I've asked you to, because I don't know much about those certain classes. Please do let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to see it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Definitely give this video a thumbs up. It really helps out. Share it with your friends. Go follow me on Twitter. Go follow me on Twitch. Please check me out live. And otherwise, guys, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. See ya.